Welcome to today's collective reading. Begin with clearing with the kyanite and the selenite, aligning the energies and elevating them so that only the messages of the highest and greatest good can come through. Okay, we're going to grab a couple of power animal cards. We have the cow. And I'll bring that up real close for you guys. You can take a good look. The cow is quite the symbol for abundance and harvest and fertility, and there's that Egyptian symbolism there. Oh, interesting. We have the ram as well. Very stubborn, Tauran, Aries, Capricorn energy. There's a bit of a hint of Thoth there too. All right. And then we'll go here. The puma. We have power, desire, and healing. There's also a raven, an owl, a crow, a couple of other things, even some plant in there is too. That's a really interesting one. So I'll leave these out here for you guys if they resonate with you. It's a validation, a synchronicity, something present there for you guys. So I feel a two-sided discussion needing to come out. So I will okay, so we're going to pull an oracle for each side, and then we'll grab some tarot for each side as well to dive deeper into the energy. So what does the collective need to know for whatever side decides to go first? Let's say we'll have the more predominantly receptive side to the discussion or dynamic come out first. And they will be, oh, okay, you want to go with the first one. Got it, okay. Sisterhood of reciprocity. This is celebration, community, family, friend group. Okay. Okay, so for the more predominant assertive side to this discussion, what do we have coming through for that side? Okay, we have the Lady of Perpetual Rebirth. Oh, this is consistently, constantly ascending, dying and being reborn, dying and being reborn. Shadow work, working with both the light and the dark with the symbols on her hands. The communication with the inner self is very strong as well. Okay. So for the more predominantly, we'll start on the assertive side. So we have so much assertive energy coming in as well. So let's let's start here. We'll grab 3 tarot, and then we'll grab some clarifiers. Now this particular deck, I do have inverted meanings in them, so it pulls a little more on the darker side of things, what's hidden more in the shadow. So I do have the guidebook present just to kind of make sure those synchronicities come through for the collective tuning in. All right. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune inverted. Okay. And then we have the Moon inverted, which is interesting because there's the moon on the feminine form's hand. And the King of Cups in the upright. Okay. So they actually want me to use this deck as well for the receptive side. Interesting. This tells me that this conversation is between 2 energies that are balanced within themselves. However, there is a need for communication. There's definitely a breakdown here. It's possible simply because you guys are so close emotionally to what's going on. It's hard to get the synchronicities to come in and have that confidence that they're not somehow wishful thinking on one side or somehow a manipulative interpretation or energy. There isn't any kind of interception in between that is altering the communication and the way it's delivered. Okay, we have the 3 of Swords in the upright on the more receptive side. Ooh, that was painful. Okay, then we have the 2 of Cups also in the upright. Oh, okay. All right. So we have the Page of Cups inverted. Looks like it's possibly switching. And then supporting underneath that, we have the 5 of Wands inverted and the Page of Swords upright. Okay. So this could be what's causing the shift. This is definitely an in motion vibe here on the more receptive side. Okay. I know that this has a turning of the wheel side to it with the assertive side to things. This constant ascension, this death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. The tapping into communicating deep within self with that symbol of the crow's skull can have significance to Viking ancestry, Norse, communicating with Odin as well, that inner masculine. Father God. The turning of the wheel. The moon. It's like the shadow work is being forced to the surface, and this King of Cups is feeling all that emotion, and it's quite painful. And it's causing this rapid ascension here. That's what I'm channeling through for it, but I am going to definitely grab these for you guys here, these synchronicities that are in the book as well. So for the inverted meaning that the book has, it's misfortune, powerlessness, and unpleasant circumstances. So the turning of this wheel, this assertive energy may have been experiencing, pretty comfortable experiences in the physical. So there's quite a bit of a change of dynamic, and that dynamic is like, it's like a blessing in disguise. It's necessary for what has been built to crumble to some extent in order for a more authentic, real experience to be able to be lived in this life. And this is part of the soul contract. These are major arcana. These are not negotiable. These are, you came into this with this being a core part of the contract. And that is what's forcing a lot of this moon energy to the surface. Doing that deep inner work, looking at why you feel what you feel. It's almost like this energy has been able to be turned off for quite some time, whether they were asleep, dormant, however you want to work with that. But if this is perpetually rebirthing of the self, this is implying it's pretty rapid because of what's going on in the receptive side. There is an implication of speed, rapid movement. Okay, so the inverted meaning here from the guidebook, and it makes sense because we have, if you're having nightmares, this is possibly what could be going on. Like, you're not getting a break. If you're identifying with this side, you're not getting a break from doing this work. Whether you're waking or sleeping, you are constantly working on this. You're not really given the chance to have much of a space in between. So the reverse is delusion, nightmares, negative emotions, and a feeling of despair. Sense of possibly feeling like you can't get away from it, feeling trapped in it. Ooh. But that King of Cups is in the upright, so that is implying that this is somehow actually, they're seeing you, or they are seeing that this is having a positive impact, however painful it may be. The King of Cups, accept and embrace your responsibility for the care of others as your way to become empowered and lead others. The symbolism is of a powerful male figure who has half a face of flowing water. He's able to understand the needs of others and takes his responsibilities seriously. Water is the symbol of emotion, intuition. So this is the turning on and understanding of emotion, empathy, how your actions are perceived and experienced, and the cause and effect that you have with the way you move. In the upright, it's influential and responsible. So as this is happening to this more predominantly assertive aspect to this discussion, the two-sided discussion here, there's an awareness that this is actually a very good thing. However, it may initially hit them with, wait, what? It could be like a loss of a job. It could be being evicted. It could be, a failing in some kind of a core relationship. But it is pulling through all of this healing and this awareness. If the King of Cups were in the inverted, I would say they were like, nah, man, I'm not on board with this at all. But this is the one card that is not major arcana. This is something they're choosing to be in. They feel this is a good thing. Okay, then. So for the more predominant receptive aspect to this connection, this discussion, we have the Three of Swords in the upright. So there is a feeling of having been ripped apart and deciding what to keep, what not to keep, to find balance within the self. The core power within you, finding that core power, it's like that's the goal, that's the purpose of the Three of Swords. And how this relates with the sisterhood of reciprocity, this community. I definitely get the feeling that that's not necessarily a positive environment. Like, their opinions may become your opinions. What they think directs way too much of what this receptive energy thinks. it's a manipulation. If you're going to be in a relationship with this energy, you're not just in a relationship with the person, you're in a relationship with them and their entourage. I understand the concept of when you become part of a family, you're not just with your person, you're with their parents and their aunts and their uncles and their nieces and their nephews and their aunts and their uncles, and like you're part of the whole group. But this is a level where they have too much influence in how this person moves in their life, feels in their life, how they decide how to feel about you. Like they could be sharing too much of their inner thoughts and feelings and judgments and questioning. Like they'll come to them with doubts, and then this person or this group will give them the answers that they would have, and that becomes this person's truth. They don't develop their own truth. And this is the breakdown of that. This is the owning of that personal truth. The breaking away from their opinion is mine, I am them, they are me. No, you are your own person here. So this seems to be the healing journey of the more receptive side. Okay, so I'm gonna get those synchronicities for you guys. Okay. So the Three of Swords in the upright is sorrow and cognitive dissonance, which makes sense. It's a looking at where you are as a result of their opinions becoming yours, because not everybody in this dynamic would actually have your best interest in mind. They could feel a little intimidated, threatened, jealous, territorial, and subtly, sabotage you. And it may just be their subconscious doing this, but it is present. And if you take on their opinion as your own, their subconscious feeling threatened by your success, just for example, could be facilitating you sabotaging yourself by valuing their opinion above your own. This has been healed. This has been your challenge. And this has been choice too. This is not major arcana. This has been something that the receptive energy, predominantly in this communication, willingly chose to do. Takes a lot of courage, and I know that this is more than likely coming out because of what's going on this side with the more assertive side. It's definitely, there was not necessarily the need to do this, but it's coming out in this reading in relationship with this other energy because it's connected. And then we have the Two of Cups in the upright, just yet again, validating that it's because what goes on here allows this King of Cups to be in the upright, allows for this to come in, the wheel to turn, the inner work to be done, because you've worked on, the receptive side has worked on their stuff willingly, so that this side is not having to do this side's shadow work as well as their own. They're doing their own. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's powerful. It's the concept that in this dynamic, this soul contract, whatever the receptive side did not willingly dive into and transmute and look at and heal within themselves, within their thoughts and their emotions, and how their subconscious mind influenced every decision. If they didn't dive deep into that part of themselves and transmute it, this side would have been having to do that at this time, as well as what was going on within themselves. Wow, that's heavy. That is heavy. So that's a good sign that this King of Cups is in the upright. That means this side did the work. To the best of their ability, this side did the work. Now, this came out first, and it is in the process of flipping. So let's see here. The Page of Cups is like that inner, innocent, like that childlike love, right? There's definitely, if you look at it, kind of like a shy bashfulness to it. Very emotional, as it's basically a merman. Yeah, it's basically a merman. For the receptive side, your inner child, this inner innocent love that you have within you, could be a little more assertive at this time. It could be saying, I want to be able to give and receive love, instead of waiting for you to make the decisions and everything else, and it just sit there and be quiet and not make its opinion known. There's a truth that's come to light that has possibly moved this into a, I want to be able to be in that innocent childlike love, please and thank you. And this Five of Wands inverted is the overcoming of this unnecessary and very painful experience. It's no longer a thing. And that could be part of this truth that's coming to light. That Page of Swords, I also get the feel of like Archangel Michael vibes. And you could be taking on that sort of truth. Like, I am not putting up with deception. We're going to cut that Five of Wands right out of the dynamic. Thank you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. So let's dive a little more into that. So, Page of Cups. Okay. So the reversed meaning is emotionally stunted and confused. Yeah, so this is definitely the inner child aspect. Definitely. And it's moving into, I really get the word play, but the actual word here is imagination and charisma. This part of you wants to move into a space of being able to have fun and play. All right, Page of Swords. Okay. In the upright, it is curious and excited. Definitely the feeling of play. Definitely. Definitely the feeling of play. Okay, and then Five of Wands. I think. Yep. The Five of Wands in the reverse is poor leadership and troublemaking. So it's the recognition that you weren't leading your life well by allowing these voices, these outside voices, dictate to you how to lead your life. And the mischief, the troublemaking, the self-sabotaging, the sabotaging that could be done because they knew this was how you moved. That is falling away. You want to embrace that light, happy, hearted, playful aspect. You know, you want to be in your Page of Cups. And this is in motion right now because the truth is you see this dynamic. Now, it's not saying that you need to like get rid of your friends or that they intentionally, consciously were being cruel to be cruel. It's more of a subconscious, energetic aspect. Not everyone in this group or this dynamic is necessarily going to be as aware of the more spiritual aspect to life, to interacting. And because of that, are they consciously aware? Not necessarily, but subconscious, spiritually, possibly they knew exactly what they were doing from that level. So being willing to see that and draw that line and lead your life, allowing your inner child to come out and have fun time, be able to play, be imaginative, creative. It doesn't mean that these connections need to be cut off. It just means that you have boundaries there now. You have boundaries. And you're aware of the challenges that others can bring if you open up your more personal aspect to what's going on within you and in any kind of doubt or concern relating especially to this connection, to this contract. A soul contract. Okay. So let's go one more layer deeper. And then we'll look at what's in between. Connecting a compromise, the middle. You know, if this were to be a scale of, you know, one extreme color to another extreme color, it would be the mixing of the two. Where could they meet, right? Be it the degrees of reds and yellows and a flame to the vibrant blues within the flame. The inner, the median, the middle, the gray, if you will. All right. I'm going to get just a couple more clarifiers, synchronizations here as well for this assertive side. Okay. Ooh, Empress energy. Nice. There's a feeling of excitement because they know the abundance is there. They're aware of how much work has been done. Ooh, okay. Ace of Wands and, oh, I didn't see that one. The Knight of Pentacles. Ooh, okay. So that Knight of Pentacles, is that really a slow moving, or is it a little more like, nah, I don't want to be so slow? Ooh, okay, so there's thought. So we had the Two of Pentacles, Six of Swords, Two of Cups. Yeah, there's concern of how best to move. They feel like things are kind of in a precarious state, possibly. So they're taking their time. Taking their time. It's the hesitant, not quite sure yet the lay of the land. Yeah, there's a lot of change, and they're waiting a little bit for, they're needing to see where things kind of settle. Yeah, they're looking for this Empress energy, which I'm assuming, because this is predominantly receptive, they're looking for a signal to let them know that you have put down that heavy burden, that you're not entertaining that Five of Wands energy anymore. Okay, and that felt like that. So the Hangman has come down from the tree. All right, so their higher self is integrating, definitely present, supporting them. And it's like they have more information at their fingertips. They've been observing, and they feel it's time. So you may have put down this burden. I mean, it seems like you have, so they're aware. So what do we got for this Knight of Cups here? I want a couple on that. Just a couple more on that Knight of Cups, please. Or the Knight of Pentacles, please. That might be a synchronicity. Knight of Cups. They might want to bring a Knight of Cup to the table. They might want to make an offer. And it's about, you know, best timing. Yeah, they don't want to be foolish in how they approach you. They want to be strategic. So much planning. Yeah, and they also don't want to come in swinging, in other words. That is something that probably has come through. They're aware of how much you've done, and that you might be a little like, as you know, this is possibly, you know, it's a radical change for both sides of it here. So let's move over here to the receptive side, the predominantly receptive. Now, do feel free, like, to invert the gender labeling. if I speak to a male or a female, it's about energy. It's not about gender. It's not about gender. So receptive is not necessarily female. It could definitely be, you know, a masculine individual, a male individual. And assertive can definitely be a female in the dynamic, but it's all about the energy. All right, can I have some clarifiers for the receptive energy here? Predominantly receptive. Ooh. Okay, so we have the moon in the upright. Yeah, it's because of that shadow work. Validating that. Okay, justice. Okay, your higher self is awake within. And Two of Swords. This may be what brought in that Tower moment with this 10 of Wands. A couple more on that Two of Swords, please. Oh boy. It's the Fool. Now, this one landed a couple of different ways as it went down. So this could be inverted or upright. Either way, there's a sense of wanting to make sure that how this meets is not in a foolish, rash way. Exactly. That you're well informed. That you move with intention. Even if that intention causes you to be aware of exactly how much pain you're both in, that emotion, as they're going through this, you're catching some of that emotion. You're helping them process it, even if you don't realize it. So you have the Six of Swords moving to calmer waters, and it's because you're above the opinions, the attacks, the strategies, the input, all yet again highlighting the solar plexus, your personal power, your personal will. You're elevated and protected above it, which made this decision, this awareness to make that choice, to, you know, let this Five of Wands energy, this aspect, to own your opinion and not let your opinion of yourself, of the dynamic, determine how everything played out. To not let others manifest your life for you, through you. Wow, potent. Owning that personal power. Oh, but I feel like there's supposed to be a couple more coming through because I'm doing this, so okay. Alright, okay, so we have Eight of Swords in the upright. I get the concept of breaking these ties that have bound you. Basically evicting these thoughts from your mind and the sources. And what, yeah, this manipulative devil energy controlling you. So there could be self-critical thoughts, memories even, that are replaying as you have gone through this process. And they could be the voice of like your father or your mother when you were a kid, or somebody, you know, in your grade that bullied you, your first boyfriend or girlfriend. These kinds of thoughts have been keeping you, thoughts and emotions have been keeping you from taking this leap. Stuck between, do I choose this path or this path, this path or this path? And they're at war within self. They're at war within you. And you, I'm getting very strongly, you didn't choose either side. You chose yourself. Can I get a clarifier on that? You chose to bring yourself into an alignment with the Ten of Cups, owning that you must place yourself there in order to attract it. So you rejected this, and you rejected this, and you said, I want this. This trumps those three negative energies, and I'm taking that leap. I'm choosing me. Very, very powerful choice to be making on this side, and that was necessary for this side to know, you know. Very, very beautiful. Okay, so let's get a couple for the middle energy here. Where are we meeting in the middle here? What do we need to know about this gray in the center? The space, the things to consider for compromise. Makes sense now that I did 3 power animals. Oh, the Phoenix. Now this is a very, one of 2 very unique cards in this particular deck. So even though there's all this shadow and dark that you've worked through, you processed out, that may still be trying to affect your beautiful plumage and invade this awesome light and connection within self. You, like, it can't touch you. Even if it tries, you just instantly alchemize it. So this is something that you both have unlocked. You both have unlocked this. So this is, however you two decide, is how you two it'll play out. It's between the 2 of you. So there's a level of, there's only so much they will let me see here because of this. Because it is personal, private. These energies could be watching this reading. They could be aware you're watching this reading. You know, you could be talking to them about it, or, you know, whatever. Like, because their energy showed up, they could be somewhatly aware that this is something that you're now owning, both sides to this dynamic. And they can't affect you because you're balanced and you're determined and you're moving towards owning your sovereignty. As above, so below. And allowing that inner child, in like innocence, that love of life, of play, of seeing the magic in the world. This is all around protecting that space. This is something that is desired from both sides. This may be the key because, I mean, this can be pretty heavy. It can be pretty heavy, especially if you're dealing with tower moments and changes and constantly dying and being reborn over and over and over again as you overcome the self-sabotaging shadow work on both sides. The invitation to see the magic, the wonder. This is your touchstone. Okay, that one kind of hopped. So, yeah. And then we have Queen of Cups. Oh, I wanted me to place it there, but it did. Being connected to both, to be grounded in your emotion, knowing that you are the source, that all this light is inspired through. So taking care of you, not sacrificing you for others, is key here. And then we have this Ace of Cups. Yeah. Just an overcoming. And yet again, like, you have this dark energy wanting to come down and infect this, but it can't get close. Can't get close. And this is the same source of the Phoenix fire here, the transformation. The Temperance is, you can fly above this. You are owning your divinity, your connection to source. You're owning your personal will. So, the compromise, the middle. So this is basically the base energy of the center. which is pretty beautiful. It's pretty beautiful. But let's get some oracles in here. Let's get some oracles in here. Which one do we want to go with? Let's go with this. Yeah. So, just kind of, is there any additional guidance, clarifiers that could come through for this middle to help these two sides kind of understand that, aside from knowing that the other is like that 10 of Cups and the ultimate Ace of Cups and that inner child and the awareness that self comes first before you can give to others, you know, all this very big, beautiful energy. There's a little more grounded 3D guidance here for this middle, for compromising, for meeting the middle, to help take it from tower energy. I don't want to take a leap of faith until I'm, you know, I understand that all these signals have come in, like to take that anxiety down a notch, really help bridge that gap from not willing to gamble it to realizing there is nothing to gamble. It's just taking a step to get the information, to understand if taking another step is appropriate, and then going from there. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So it's the surrender, the need to understand, to control every little detail. Surrendering the bigger picture to the divine to focus on the single step, the step you're making now. Like dipping your toe in the water. Is it too cold? Is it too hot? Can I acclimate? Do I need a moment before I do it again? Okay. And then here is, you know, both sides could have built up this ideation of the other side in this process. I feel that there may be a period of time where there wasn't communication, or you have this, either side has the other side on a pedestal. So it's if they are human, understanding that that's okay for them to be human, and that maybe you had a really high expectation in one place and that wasn't the reality of it. Placing people on pedestals is something that we do, but it's not fair to them or us. And it's because, you know, if you're on that, if you are not able to focus on here and now and what's coming, what the interaction is, if you're aware that you have them on a pedestal, be on guard for that. Know that. Because with these two things here, if you're in the moment and you're recognizing that maybe you have them built up into some perfect being in your mind, you may be feeling or perceiving as though you're going to be rejected or you're going to reject them. Either way, this rejection is what's stopping this. Is like you both, it's like two sides that feel amazing about one another, but because they feel the fear, the rejection, because of that intensity, they don't move towards one another, right? There's also a concept of there's 3 layers of these crosses. So 3 strikes, you're out. They feel, and you feel like this is a make or break. So the caution is, the advice is don't put them on a pedestal. Allow them to be imperfect and be in the moment with them. Not in the past, not in the future, in the moment. I want one more here, particularly around, you know, how to kind of work through this rejection concept here. Okay. I don't want to sit here and do this all day. Come on now. I want to just pull one if you don't give me one. All right. Ooh. Stubborn. Yeah. The reverse is like, you don't need to come at this with already perceiving the concept that the rejection is a given. If you come at it already feeling like it's over, it's done, you're going to create that. So what is the reverse of sadness? It's happiness. This is an upside down smiley face. Right? Like, There's been so much on both sides of this that have gone into this moment. Now you get to just be here. And that may be the biggest challenge, is to just allow yourself to embrace that this is supposed to be a time of being present in the now, to fall back into knowing who one another is now. That you don't need to fear this rejection, because if you fear it, and you focus on that, you'll create it. These two things right here, you follow them and you won't have to deal with that. You'll end up in a state of, peace and a new beginning, because you've overcome the fear, because you're both passionate about this. Know that it is reciprocated. As for both sides of this, as you go through this pretty intense emotional aspect, this constant death and rebirth may be happening for some time, and this side may be feeling it, helping this side move through it, helping this side process it. Because it's rapid. It's rapid. You maybe had years and years, maybe your whole life you were trying to work through this, but this side, nah. No. Completely dormant to rapidly moving through it. So you may be helping them. And this is a beautiful time to be here. This is awesome. This is cause for celebration. A bit of a, every time you move through something, you've overcome one more thing that you don't have to overcome. You're closer and closer and closer to being here. In this space in between, filling it out, understanding it, living in it. The one thing that is coming through very strong for both of you is the only way out of being out of alignment, which you guys are coming into this alignment, because you have the wheel of time here. You have the wheel of time. You have the Two of Cups. You have the Phoenix and Temperance. Like, this is divinely guided. This is part of your soul contract. So you have a lot of help, a lot of ancestors, a lot of, spirit guides, spirit team energy coming in. The only way out is through working with one another, through one another, to support one another in this process. You may not understand consciously what's going on, but you can understand possibly where it's coming from and why. Not necessarily the details, what time it's from, but you understand who is on the other side. And this is ultimately where you end up. And this can ebb and flow and come and go. But there's an understanding and a respect for all of the experience of this side to the meeting in the middle. And yet again, the cow, fertility, purity, divinity, sacrifice, growth, divine life. So there's a lot of divine energy present here. Healing, desire, power. Yeah. All right. So that'll be the reading for today. I do hope that this validated your own intuition, as this is really about you guys communicating with your spirit team. I'm just honored to be that channel. So with that being said, please like, share, subscribe so that more can find the synchronicities here meant for them via their spirit team sooner. The divine in me honors the divine in you. Namaste.